does After the Kissing Booth and My Life with the Walter Boys have in common? Perhaps a bad boy love interest and a relatable main character. But most of all, they're all adaptations of Wattpad stories. I want to focus on a recent Wattpad adaptation that dropped on Netflix last month, My Life with the Walter Boys. The premise is a girl, Jackie, moves to Colorado after her parents and sister die in a car accident. She moves in with her mom's friend Catherine and her husband George. The couple have 12 kids in the book, 10 in the television show. As she adjusts to life in Colorado, she finds herself in the middle of a love triangle between two brothers, Cole and Alex. Now, My Life with the Walter Boys has multiple tropes that appeal to its audience, ones that helped it amass popularity on Wattpad. I want to focus this video essay on the conventions that make it popular, and how this young adult adaptation secured a season 2 within 2 weeks. I'll talk about the good, what makes it so watchable, while pointing out some weaknesses that could be improved on in a future season. First, let's talk about Jackie, our protagonist. Jackie is a perfectionist. She's hardworking and determined to get into Princeton. The timeline of when she arrives in Colorado is a bit unclear, but I'm going to assume it's mid-September. Jackie arrives at her new school wanting to get involved, participating in multiple extracurriculars. She was involved at her old school as well. Here, she's in student council, runs track, and is taking a couple of AP classes. Jackie is shown in front of mirrors, which seems to be an easy way to demonstrate how she cares about her image, her perception. In addition, it could play into how much she has changed since arriving at the Walters. Nikki Rodriguez speaks to Vanity Fair about Jackie, saying, "I've been on my own from a young age, and I suppose that's probably what really drew me to Jackie," the guarded actor tells Vanity Fair. "I didn't grow up in a typical family dynamic, and I know exactly what it feels like, having to juggle all these challenges of growing up and how hard that can be. I really had to learn how to be strong and independent early on, and not rely on anybody, and that's a lot like Jackie." Rodriguez's winning performance as the grieving teen caught up in a romantic triangle and stymied by a new school that doesn't offer enough AP classes was further aided by how similar the actor is to her alter ego. Both of them have a type A overachiever vibe, though I'm a little less emotionally introverted, she says, and tend to wear my heart on my sleeve, whereas she sometimes does not. Jackie's fashion in the books is described as preppy, and the show tries to emulate this. Jackie went to a private school in New York, and it is pointed out how she sticks out with her outfits in Colorado. Now, I've seen people roast her outfits, which I would say aren't super cute, but I find that to be the point. Her outfits are supposed to stick out in Colorado. I don't think Jackie cares that her outfits aren't fashionable, it's more to represent this perfect image. She wants her outfit to demonstrate how put together she is. On the first day of school, she's wearing a Ralph Lauren sweater, khakis, and white collar. She sticks out like a sore thumb with this uptight, preppy outfit. In the scene where she's walking around with Skylar, Kylie, and Grace, her outfit contrasts Kylie and Grace's, both outfits being more colorful. Skylar and Jackie are dressed similarly, which probably represents how dedicated they are to their studies and their dreams to go to a prestigious university. As Jackie begins to adjust to life in Colorado, her outfits seem to be changing. However, it does go back and forth between preppy outfits to more casual ones. For example, at the homecoming festivities, she goes in a more preppy attire but pairs it with jeans. Jackie wearing jeans was a huge deal in the book, and it happening without any reaction I think defeats the purpose. She's wearing these outfits that can be considered business casual, so wearing jeans is huge. She gets Cole's varsity jacket in episode 4, which is another scene that could be very important because of Cole giving her the jacket and of this constant reminder of football. As the season goes along, she begins to wear lighter colors. For example, her jacket at Thanksgiving is a light pink, while Erin's is black with stars on it. It's a nice contrast. Jackie's Thanksgiving outfit is rather boring, gray, but I did like the cream cardigan and the black turtleneck she wears later in the episode. When she begins dating Alex, she reverts back to outfits that are darker and preppier. This could tell us how dating Alex doesn't challenge her, and she goes back to who she was before she came to Colorado, which could be good, could be bad. One thing I wish the show extended on more was how alone she feels after entering the Walter household and the connection she had to her family. I wish we saw some flashbacks of them, showing her life before Colorado. The 4th episode is titled 19, as Jackie's sister Lucy would have turned 19. Her sister's favorite teapot breaks, and Jackie struggles to get through the day, even ditching school. Jackie feels alone. She's the only surviving member of her immediate family. The feeling of loneliness is why her and Cole bond, the shared feeling of being alone. Jackie opening up to Cole about Lucy first made sense. Her uncle appears in episode 5 to try and take her back to New York City. Despite the messy love triangle among brothers, Colorado was good for her. In a conversation with the school's counselor in episode 1, she mentions how after her family died, her friends didn't know how to be around her anymore. Therefore, moving back to New York City would possibly bring up those memories, and she's starting to find her footing in Colorado. Jackie bonds with Aaron with not enjoying Thanksgiving because it's a reminder to both of them of what they've lost. Therefore, this overall message seems to be grief isn't something that has a timetable or an experience that's universal, and Jackie is struggling to navigate her new reality. My Life with the Walter Boys is driven by his love triangle. With My Life with the Walter Boys, Novak has talked about how she was inspired by the love triangle in the Vampire Diaries. Elena in the middle of a love triangle between two brothers, Stefan and Damon. Love triangles have become a staple in young adult literature. To All the Boys I Loved Before, Twilight, Delirium, Matched, Vampire Academy, Throne of Glass, Infernal Devices. The list goes on and on. Love triangles have been complained about for years in books and on TV, but personally, I love them. I've always found them entertaining because, frankly, I love mess. In addition, we all want to be loved. With the love triangle, you have your audience choose which one they relate to more, possibly to engage more people in the media. However, with how it's portrayed in these shows, it takes away the fun, as the indecisiveness can feel repetitive and drawn out. The predictability of the love triangle is why people are growing tired of them. You know who the girl is going to pick. It isn't this eternal battle of both being great options. The writers make it pretty obvious that one option is better than the other, which is fine. But a love triangle, particularly a good love triangle, is meant to keep us guessing, possibly even love both of them. I like what Dr. Claire Burley says about love triangles for Elle magazine. One of the greatest fears for us as humans is that we won't be loved, she says, because then we're at risk of being rejected and abandoned, losing the protection and safety of our social group. Being loved and finding a loving connection with a mate is also one of life's greatest pleasures. But winning someone's affection over a rival feeds the part of us that wants to feel more special than someone else. So when we watch love triangles on screen, we are gripped by the tension and suspense of who will win the pleasure of love, and who will lose and be confronted with the reality of their biggest fear, being cast aside. In a love triangle, there seems to be two different archetypes when it's a girl choosing between two guys. The nice guy and the bad boy. Alex is the nice guy. He's the sweet younger brother who connects with Jackie. Alex's hobbies include riding horses and playing video games. Alex's best friend is a girl named Kylie, who is hinted at being in love with him. Ashby Gentry says this about Alex for 1883 magazine. I think viewers will like him because of the way he cares, because of the way he looks at her, because of the way he talks to her, because of the things he does and the choices he makes. I think that's a reason to like Alex, and I do think there's some validity to his content. I've always said that Alex can't win at Cole's game. Alex has to play a different game to win. He can't beat Cole at being Cole. He has to be something else, and that's the advice he has to use from his brother. He says you have to be Alex, you can't be Cole. That's very true. No one can be what Cole is. Alex has to do that. He has to play a different game to win. I think the more he leans into that, the more attractive he gets. So, with Alex, he sees himself in Cole's shadow, and is tired of not being the first option. The other option, Cole, is shown to be a jerk, but he's struggling, so cut him some slack. Cole quit football, so he's wondering, what now? Football was his identity, his ticket out of his hometown, and now he wonders if he'll ever leave his small town in Colorado. Cole becomes interested in his second passion, fixing cars, and even tries to secure his job as a plan after high school. High school is this constant reminder of what he's lost, so it's understandable that he's struggling to adjust to his new reality. I can't lie, watching him struggle in school had me convinced that Jackie was going to tutor him, and was surprised that didn't happen. Throughout the season, Cole isn't this great guy. He harms others around him. Cole's flakiness is shown numerous times, like not helping Jackie pack up after homecoming and missing Parker's football game. Cole has this scene where he gets high at the football field when he's reminiscing on all that he's lost. It was a good scene, depicting how Cole was struggling to articulate how he feels. The third episode revolves around homecoming and demonstrates the Cole effect, which is described in the first episode with this ability to be liked by anyone he meets. Before this moment, we've seen it in action in school with classmates, but we see him find success in front of the whole town. Cole might have the ability to make anyone like him, but does anyone truly know him? He has his twin, but he feels alone in his struggles, unable to voice it. In relation to the love triangle My Life with the Walter Boys, it doesn't feel like a love triangle. Cole is the obvious choice, and Alex feels like an obstacle that's stopping us from getting to that conclusion. Cole and Alex are shown to be at odds from the beginning, with Cole wearing blue in the first episode and Alex wearing red. Both colors are known to be conceptually opposites. The first episode ends with a scene between Cole and Alex that makes it evident they don't get along. And this comes to head once Alex and Jackie get together midway through the season. Whenever Jackie is caught alone with Cole, Alex appears jealous and vice versa. Alex and Jackie getting together brings tension to the family as it brings up the memories of Paige, Alex's girlfriend that kissed Cole while dating him. A difference is that when Paige heard the two boys arguing about her, she seemed to enjoy the attention, while Jackie visibly hated it. Jackie didn't want this additional stress. Alex punches Cole at a bonfire and they fight each other at school. This has the entire family wanting their feud to stop. Throughout the season, most of the episodes end with a scene between Jackie and Cole, even having a crush confession in episode 7 in the rain. Don't get me wrong, Cole isn't this amazing guy. He treats Jackie terribly. For example, the 8th episode has Cole tell Jackie he wishes she didn't come to Colorado. A love triangle in these circumstances make everything worse. Alex feels like he wants to win Jackie from Cole. I think they're a bad match, despite them being interested in the same thing and being similar in terms of their personality with being introverted. I feel like Alex likes the idea of Jackie more than Jackie herself. There's a monologue from Alex where he talks about being out of her league, and he says later on in the season, "I love you" at Will and Haley's wedding, and she's unable to say it back. The final episode of the season airs with the love triangle in a weird place. Cole's out for the summer and there's all these questions of what the characters will do. The season ends with Jackie and Cole making out, solidifying Jackie cheating on Alex and her running away to New York, staying with Danny and her uncle. Ashby Gentry did an article with 1883 magazine talking about the love triangle that gives an interesting perspective. It's interesting because when you think about the form the show takes, it is very much a love triangle story, right? That is the primary conflict this season. Who knows what it will be in the future? I think that overall, holistically, when we look at the show itself, the love triangle is not necessarily the primary conflict. The primary conflict is that Nikki lost her family and she's learning how to find her bearings again, and find a new family in a new situation despite that tragedy. I think there's a colloquial misconception about the show that she's choosing to be involved in this love triangle, and to me that's false. It's a false projection. Falling in love is not a choice that a person makes. It's something that happens to you, just like the tragedy that happened to her. So, the illusion that she's choosing a love triangle when she should be grieving for her family is entirely that. It's illusory. I like that Ashby says how love is unpredictable and that it happens. It's an interesting perspective. I like the idea that the love triangle will eventually come to an end. The friends in the show seemed like an accessory to the main characters. I never felt like I really cared about the various friendships in the show. Skylar, Kylie, and Grace were there to give advice to the leads, and once they served that purpose, then what? Grace gave input on Jackie's love life, and Kylie was giving advice to Alex. Kylie showed that after a while she was tired of it all, and the friends never really had a life outside of the relationship with the main characters. The most interesting friend/supporting character is Erin. Erin starts off disliking Jackie as she's Cole's girlfriend and suspects something is going on between them. She's similar to Cole and Jackie with feeling alone. Maybe that's why she's drawn to Cole and sticks by him despite everything. Her mother is the only person she has left after losing her father at a young age. Cole treats her poorly and she finds out he slept with her best friend. That level of betrayal is brutal. When Erin finally breaks up with Cole for good, it's this moment of growth because she's realizing her worth. She's learning now that Cole only really goes back to her when he needs a distraction. Erin has a scene where she auditions for the play and relates herself to Beatrice from Much Ado About Nothing. She talks about how if she ended up alone, she would be free and how she would like it. She says how she got tricked by her family and friends and by a guy not into a relationship. Erin's mom begins with not accepting her acting and being a part of the play, but she does come around. By the end of the season, Erin's learning not to live for others and to do what makes her happy. I really like the parents in My Life with the Walter Boys, Catherine and George. Jackie is entering this large family, having 10 kids, and the chaos that ensues doesn't hide the love the parents have for their kids. Their biggest conflict in the show is their struggles with money and possibly having to sell some of their land. The Walters' money problems seem to be solved at the end of the season by Jackie's uncle investing in a business Will is starting. I liked the scene in the Thanksgiving episode where Catherine tells a story about trying to find her birth mother with Jackie's mom and stopping at the diner, meeting George, who was working there. This moment demonstrates the theme of chosen family that is overarching throughout the show. Jackie's mother loved her enough to help her find her birth mother, and she ended up finding someone that was better than blood, George. The family dynamic is a driving force in the show, and it's difficult to develop all the children. I hope we learn more about the kids in a future season, but a bigger issue I had was the passing of time. We jumped from Thanksgiving to after winter break, and missed out on the early development of Alex and Jackie becoming a couple. Because of how time passes, this makes the bond the family has with Jackie feel rushed, and we don't really see it develop over time as well as I would like. I like Danny and Jackie's relationship, and I wish we saw more of it. Danny and Jackie have a shared love for theater. There was a scene where Danny and Jackie rehearsed lines together, but they don't even show us rehearsing, just them beginning to and then cutting to another scene. Nathan and Jackie running together was a pivotal moment in the book, where Nathan was the brother she got closest to first. We never saw them actually run that much together in the show, and the conversations seemed to happen before they ran. We see her run by herself quite a bit, and I never felt Nathan and Jackie bond through their passion for running. In regards to other brothers, we don't learn much about Lee, Jordan, or Isaac either. Lee is shown to not care for Jackie because he doesn't want to be forgotten, and he cares about his dad a lot, but what else? Isaac has a smaller role, at least it feels like it, from the book, and is just this outgoing older brother to Lee and the heartthrob. Jordan is just the Walter boy into films. And that's just a couple examples, because I didn't mention every Walter sibling here. I think the show could use more side plots focused solely on the brothers, more on what differentiates them from one another. Which brings me to another note I had, was that the show feels all over the place in regards to its structure. I want there to be more plot lines that don't go back to the love triangle. Even in a show centered around a love triangle, the audience needs to care about more than that. I want the family dynamic to be even stronger in the upcoming season. Finally, the Will and Haley plotline. I can tell why some people cared about this plotline and others didn't. My sister told me that she skipped all of their scenes. I like how the relationship serves as a contrast to George and Catherine's. Will and Haley are young and still figuring out what they want to do next, while wanting to get married soon. I thought their struggles of being in their early/mid-20s and not having everything figured out was relatable, but I wish we had time to like them before we saw them fight. The show started off with them already kind of being on edge with money problems and Haley's parents not wanting them to get married. Then Will begins working at the same place as Haley, which causes further problems. The wedding definitely needs to happen in season 1, but maybe there should have been more scenes at the beginning showing how much they love each other and really making us fall in love with them before there was complications. Now, my life with the Walter boys follows a distinct formula, one that has been proven successful. The love triangle isn't anything we haven't seen before, as if we don't have another love triangle with brothers on another streaming platform. But stories about families, stories about navigating loss, are ones that will stay around. The show has charm, and that can go a long way in a teen television show. Now, My Life with the Walter Boys has potential, and it has the tropes that people love. However, the question does remain, how will this show be remembered when it's all said and done? Only time will tell. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.